Pull up a stool, for this tale will keep you listening for, well, quite a time, said the god to the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn pulled up a stool and began to listen. Meanwhile, the light of the hearth struck the god's face in a manner that made his features appear sharper. It began many years ago, before I was the fastest runner in my Rorikstead. But life was too boring, just catching sheep that left the pens. I decided to seek fortune and adventure the way that most young'uns do, by taking up a sword and going out to find the evil in the world. I fought naught but trolls and bears, yet even they were too powerful for me. I knew that I'd need training to handle great evils like in the old tales, but I could never find a mentor who would take me. Too brash and arrogant, they'd always say. Needless to say, I was broken, felt foolish, and on the road back to my hometown. Just then, it began to rain, which only deepened the already large hole in my heart. Then, the thunder came. The Dragonborn appeared only to be half listening to the god's story. The Dragonborn's attention was diverted to something else. Up ahead, I saw the true source. This was no normal thunderstorm. There was a wizard wearing the darkest robes I'd ever seen, right on the road to Rorikstead. The sorcerer was summoning something, and in spite of the lack of my training, I charged at him with my sword and shield in hand. His concentration broke when he heard my battle cry. He began running. He clearly didn't know me, and he wouldn't have tried to run. I was too quick for him, and I impaled him on my blade. Behind me, however, was a horrific abomination from the realm of oblivion. Just as I was going to turn around, it struck me and I fell unconscious. When I awoke, I was greeted by a vigilant Stendarr. He had told me that I did well in stopping the wizard, but there was more work to be done. We had traveled the width and breadth of the land together, fighting strange creatures from oblivion, brought to this world by the most vile of sorcerers. The bard began playing a mournful song, which only seemed to further set the mood in the guard's story. However, all good things come to an end, and soon I would end my career as an adventurer. One day I was out collecting wood for fire, and when I returned, the vigilant who I had befriended was dead. Above my friend's corpse stood a thin, tall, clawed demon. It had 4 clawed fingers, and it was thin in a way that it looked as if it was starving, ribs visible, skin stretched over bone. This creature had an elongated, leech-like mouth, and sharp points protruding from its spine. At the end of its body lay a tail, covered in sharp points, and 2 thin, 2-toed legs that looked like they shouldn't have been able to hold the creature's body. It picked up the bow lying on the ground, shot me in the kneecap. The guard looked down and sighed. That being said, I used to be an adventurer like you. Quiet, old man. The guard had been rudely interrupted by the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn listened in on the silence quickly before Dragonstone shook the tavern. Dragon! The people yelled outside. The guard went out to fight, but was quickly eaten. That very same guard now haunts Skyrim, possessing other guards to convey his last message to the Dragonborn. You may mock him. You may refuse to heed his call. You may even kill him. But there's one thing you must have never ever do. Even if you're on the brink of madness, I beg you. Never repeat that damned phrase.